All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the NBC Game of the Week. I'm going to try to get through this. My voice is definitely not normal. Trying to get past this, whatever it is I've got. So we're gonna make the best of it. We are at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. It'll be the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Philadelphia Phillies here from Busch Stadium on the NBC Game of the Week. April 15th was the date of the actual game. And it's going to be Larry Christensen on the mound for the Phillies. And going at it for the Cardinals, on the mound for the Cardinals, will be right-hander John Denny. So in-season ticket baseball, these two teams have their cards look almost identical, so they're a little bit tough to tell. You don't get the color differentiation you do maybe in some other matchups, but we're going to go ahead and just not worry about that. So now, full disclosure, I have not played this game since last Saturday, so I, haven't had a whole lot of practice at it, so I'm hoping I'm still going to be decent at it. We shall see. I didn't really have a thing to set up for the starting lineups or anything like that, so I'm just going to score on an old Stratomatic score sheets, Form B. For the Phillies, McBride leads off in right field, Boas at short, Schmitz at third, Luzinski's in left, Hebner's at first, Maddox is in center, Boone is catching, Sizemore at second, and Christensen on the mound for the Phillies. For the Cardinals, Dwyer is in left, Templeton is at short, Morales is in right, Simmons is catching, Keith Hernandez at first, Ken Reitz at third, Jerry Mumphrey in center, Mike Phillips at second, and John Denny is the pitcher for the Phillies. Now, I went through all the cards to see if anybody was using their secondary fielding percentage, and they're not listed as their primary fielding thing, so if I have to go to the ratings or not. The only one that comes to mind is Jerry Mumphrey. Mumphrey is listed as a left fielder primarily, but in this game he's center field. But if you look at the ratings, his center field ratings and his left field ratings are identical. So we're going to be able to keep this right here. We don't have to worry about anything else because it's identical. So everybody's in their primary position, so I don't have to worry about the ratings-based defense unless we bring somebody else in. Hello to Ernest, Dav, Robert from RJL Network, Kenyon, Captain Vaughn. Yeah, I'm definitely not 100%. That is for sure. I am day to day, but aren't we all? But we're going to go ahead and try it. The only thing that might happen is, depending on how I'm feeling, I may have to postpone tonight's Stratomatic game if my voice is, crackling too much. If I have the energy to do it tonight, I will. If I don't, then maybe we'll try it on Sunday, or maybe I'll just take a couple days off, get refreshed, and come back on Tuesday full strength, hopefully. But we'll play it out and see how it goes. So anyway, John Denny is on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals, as they are the home team, obviously. Let's see if I'm bringing this up just a touch here. If I can get it to stay up here. There we go. All right, I'm not going to score the game on the computer as I play it because I'm using the Pocket Pennant Run computer thing, and I'm afraid it's going to crash if I try to do too many things at one time. So I'm going to score it manually, and then I will transfer it over and finish it out from there. Hey, Brandon, good to see you. Maybe some bad news for some of you on the 1990 Cincinnati Reds front with Hischermaker Baseball. Now that I've got this one going and the Stratomatic going, I've noticed, and I'm not a numbers guy per se, but I have noticed on the videos that the Hischermaker Reds are getting less views than the other games. So what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to go back to my old way, and I'm going to just play the first game of the series on video, play the other ones offline so I can get through that replay quicker. It's just not as popular as the other stuff. I don't know what else to tell you. So I'm going by what the numbers tell me, and the numbers tell me it's not as popular. So I'm going to put that kind of not on the back burner, but it's definitely, not up to speed with the Stratomatic stuff. That's for sure, because Stratomatic gets much better views than the Hischermaker does. I guess just a lot of people just don't get that game or don't want to get that game. I don't know what it is, but it's just how it goes. All right, I got my quick start guide here, and I got the rule book in case I need it. When we get to benches and bullpens or pinch hitters and bullpens, I'll show who was on the bench for both teams and the bullpens for both teams. We are at Busch Stadium. So here's the stadium page for Busch Stadium. Obviously, this is not the rendering of Busch Stadium because Busch Stadium was turf. But anyway, this is where the game starts because we go to weather. And of course, this is a day game in April, which is a 53-degree base. So we just got to get above 59 degrees to get us into this where there's no effect. So we're going to roll all 3 of the dice, add them up, and add them to 53. And if they add up to 7 or higher, then we're in good shape. And they do. They add up to. So that actually makes us a 66-degree day, which puts it right into the 0 category. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. So it puts it in the 0 category. So there are no changes weather-wise for this game. Like I said, I'm not doing rain. I'm not doing wind. None of that stuff. I'm just going to play it just for temperature, and that's about it, just to keep it simple. Because I'm still, in the semi-process of learning this game. I know the game, but there's a lot of things that I can get messed up on. So one of the things I think I made a mistake on earlier, when you get this R3 exclamation point, does not mean the runner is automatically out. It just means that he has to challenge. It doesn't mean he's out. It just means he has to challenge. So that's one thing. The question mark means he can challenge. The exclamation point means he has to challenge. That's the only difference there. But it does not mean he would be automatically out. So I was an error on that, but Clay commented on one of the videos and let me know that was what the play should be. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and get this game going. Their captain, that's the way a lot of people see it. So, I enjoy the game, but I've been playing it for years, but some people don't. So all I can do is go by the numbers. Like I said, I'm not a big numbers guy. I don't worry about, how many views I get normally or subs or any of that kind of stuff. But when I look at the numbers on these and see that the History Maker games don't get as many views, then to me, my time is better spent doing the other games for the games that people want to see the most. So that's the kind of decision I made. So the rest of the Red Series with the Cubs will be played offline, and I'll come back and do the next game on video, live video for that, probably middle of the week. I think they're either playing Pittsburgh or St. Louis. I don't recall off the top of my head on the schedule, but that's just the way it has to be, I guess. All right, so we're ready to go here on the NBC Game of the Week. Bake McBride will lead off for the Phillies against John Denny. And we're underway. We get a 199. And that's a bloop double off of John Denny. Look at it. The very first batter is a bloop double for Bake McBride. Wow. Phillies get a bloop double right off the bat. So McBride is at second base, and that'll bring up the fiery Larry Boa. We get a 158. And that's going to be a walk. So John Denny has put 2 on with nobody out. Not off to a good start. And now the big boys come. Mike Schmidt, Michael Jack Schmidt. 466. We're under Schmidt's split chances against right-handed pitchers. 466 is a double to left field. Look at that. Wow, a double to left. That will score McBride. Boa will stop at third base. So second and third now with nobody out. 1 run already in, and Denny's in serious trouble. Infield now will come in for Greg Luzinski's at bat. Denny is not catching a break here at all. We get a 242, which is a split chance for Denny against the right-hander Luzinski. 242 is a 1-6 put out, but we'll check with the runners infield in, and see what happens on that. Let's go to our little helper here, if I can find it. All right, it says bringing the infield in on a 1-6. Run on. I didn't announce that they were going on contact. They are not going on contact. Since they're not going on contact, the 1-6 shows as a 1-2 asterisk I'm not sure what that means necessarily. All right, no, I'm sorry, they're not going on contact. It's a 1-3 ground out, and the runners are going to hold. Had they been going, it'd be a 1-2. I guess it'd be doing a play at the plate. But since they were not going on contact with nobody out, I figured there was no reason to go on contact. Just a ground ball back to Denny for out number 1. And again, if anybody sees anything I'm doing incorrectly, please chime in so that I can learn and get it right for next time. So here's Richie Hebner, the first baseman. Infield is still in for the Phillies. And this time, Boa is going to go on contact if we get the same situation. We get a 450, and that's against a right-hander. 450, doesn't matter if he's going on contact or not. That's a double for Richie Hebner against a right-hander. A 450 is a double. A 2-run double. It's now 3-0 Phillies here in the top of the first, as they're putting the hurt on John Denny. Still only 1 out for Gary Maddox. It's 3-0 ball game here in the top of the first. Denny may not last very long in this game the way he's going. 6:47, we're at the ballpark, but the visiting team is batting, so there's no adjustment. 6:47 is a 5-4 fielder's choice, and that means it actually turns to a 5-3, and with the runner at second, he will hold. So just a 5-3 ground out. Reitz over to Hernandez for 2 down, and that brings up Bob Boone, the catcher. 2 outs and a runner at second. 3 runs are already in. Booney, 236. That's against Denny, right-handed. 236 is a 5-3 ground out, and that will end the inning. But 3 runs come in for the Phils here in the top of the first, as they turn at a 3-0 lead over to Larry Christensen to start us off here on the NBC Game of the Week. Starting out with a bang. 3-0. Favor of the Phillies. And now Larry Christensen will be on. Christensen on the mound was 13-14 on the season, 324 earned run average. There's Jim Washer and Dwyer. He will lead things off for the Phillies. We get a 534. That's the first fielding check of the game. 534 takes us to the first baseman, Richie Hebner. And a 534 is a 3 unassisted ground out. So 1 away, as Hebner will take it to the bag himself and retire Mr. Dwyer. 1 away for Gary Templeton, the shortstop. 164 for Christensen. 164 is a fly out to left field. That's 2 down as Luzinski hauls it in. 2 up and 2 down now for the right fielder, Jerry Morales. 5-11, that's back to Christensen, and a 5-11 is a 1-6-3 double play, or in this case, just a 1-3 ground out. 3 easy outs, and the Cardinals go away quickly. Christensen says, I don't care if you go away mad, just go away. And that's what they did. So Sizemore will lead off for the Phillies against Denny, who's going to try to rebound from that bad first inning. It's going to be Sizemore, Christensen, and McBride. 4-0-1. And that's going to be Sizemore against the righty. And that's a 1-4-3 double play, but in this case, just a 1-3 ground out. And there's 1 away. That brings up the pitcher. And again, we're going to look and see whether, if it gets to his card, it's going to either be contact or eye rating. For Christensen, his contact is a 1, his eye is a 3. If we get on his card, it could get on somebody else's card. And we get on a fielding check. 523, that's going to be checking Ted Simmons. 523 is a foul out to Simmons. So that's going to be out number 2. 2 up and 2 down, so now a much better start for Denny. Here's McBride. 190, and that's going to be a bloop single. He had a bloop double to start the game. Now he's got a bloop single, so he's into the blooping right about now. So McBride is on. His speed is an 8. The hold on Denny is an 8. So if he tries to get the lead, he may not be able to get it. Steal rating is only a 1, and that's an 8. That's going to be tough to get the lead here. Got to be an 18. He doesn't do it anywhere near that. So McBride will hold, and that'll bring up Larry Boa. We get a 289. That's a Denny switch hitter. Boa to the left right here. 289 is a deep fly to right field. Boa, though, has 0 power. So it's a deep drive to right, and he has 0 power. So we're just going to add the 2 dice and see what he gets. He gets a 9, which is still going to be a single plus, and the run on first can try to challenge the third base, or to go to third on that if he so desires. And the runner on first is McBride. So we'll see about McBride. His speed is an 8, so that's pretty good if he wants to challenge that. The right fielder in this case is Morales, and his arm is a 4. So he's an 8 with a 4. So we're going to challenge he's going to challenge and go to third base, or at least attempt to. So we bring out our challenge chart to see if he's going to be safe or not. Now the arm rating once again for Morales was a 4. So we're going to take the 4 plus the 10 is a 14. His speed is an 8, and we're going to add to these 3 dice. If they total more than 14, or 14 or higher, he's going to make it safe to third base. And they don't. He's out. 2-0-0. He only adds up to 2, so he's going to be out trying for third base. So Morales throws him out, and that's going to end the inning. How about that? A single for Boa, but McBride is out 9-5 Dolly Parton style to end the inning. And that will do it for the Phils. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 3-0 Phillies. And Christensen back out. Will be facing Ted Simmons to lead things off here in the bottom of the second. Simmons, switch hitter, 461. So that's on this side against the righty pitcher. 461 is a double for Ted Simmons. How about that? Ted Simmons gets himself a double. Leadoff double for Ted Simmons, a 461. There it is right there against right-hander. Would have been the same against lefties as well. Plus, meaning that the runner on first would have scored, but nobody was on first. So where's Keith Hernandez, who somebody thinks should be in the Hall of Fame somewhere? I know there's at least one person. He might be the only one. I don't know. 378. And that's going to be a fly to left field for out number 1. So 1 down for Ken Reitz, third baseman. 111. 111 is going to be a redirect to a 311, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Ken Reitz out on strikes. 2 quick outs. Mumphrey, your batter, center fielder. Jerry Mumphrey, that leadoff double from Simmons might go to waste. 608, but they're the home team, so we add 10, makes it 618. Still only going to be a pop-up to second base, so nothing going on there. Actually, with the red die being a 6, well, it's always a 6 there, so we're going to re-roll. It is a 6, so it's actually going to be a foul out to second base. Not that it matters, but just for the heck of it. So at the end of 2 complete, it's still 3-0 Phillies. And like I said, with these cards, they look almost the same because both teams have the same color scheme. So it's not as defined. It'll be very easy to pick up a Phillies card thinking you've got a Cardinals card in your hand. So got to be careful of that. The only difference that I see is in this little line right here. One's kind of yellowish and one's kind of beigeish, but that's about it. That's about the only difference I can see. Hello, Brian B. Good to see you. Yeah, maybe the red's a little bit brighter, and maybe the Phillies is more of a purplish red. I don't know, but to the naked eye, I mean, it's very, very close. It wouldn't be like if you had Pittsburgh with black and gold or something. It'd be different. Anyway, I digress. Here's Mike Schmidt. He hit a RBI double his first time up. Get a 309, and that's a strikeout. This time Schmidt goes down on strikes. I may put next week's game to a vote because when I look at next week's NBC game of the week, there are a couple of choices. I'd originally gone with the main game that had Joe Garagiola and Tony Kubek on it, which was Detroit and Texas. Well, the alternate game is the Milwaukee and the Yankees. Now, granted, we had Yankees last week, but we also had Texas last week. So, which way do you go on that? Would you rather see Yankees twice or Texas twice? I might just stick with Texas because we're going to see the Yankees a lot later in the year and won't see Texas very often. So I'll probably just stick with Texas, but who knows? Here's the bowl, Greg Luzinski, 427 against a right-hander, and that is a walk. So Greg Luzinski draws the base on balls. He is no threat to try to steal at all. So he will stand pat for Richie Hebner. 299, and that's a deep drive to right field for Richie Hebner. His power is a 7. So this could be some damage done right here. We're going to add 7 to these 2 dice. We only get a 3, though. Makes it a 10. So it will be a double. And a run on first could challenge, but I don't think Greg Luzinski wants to challenge anybody. So it is a double for Richie Hebner. And that'll put runners at second and third with only 1 out on the double by Hebner. He's gotten 2 doubles in this game. Now the infield will have to come in for Greg Maddux. Or Gary Maddux. I don't know why I call him Greg Maddux. Gary Maddux. Infield is in for Gary Maddux. 364. And that's a single, infield single. So Maddux beats out an infield single. Scoring is Luzinski. Going to third will be Hebner. Still only 1 out. Now it's 4-0 Phillies. With Bob Boone up, they will play the infield more for double play. 121, that's going to be a 1-6 ground out. So they won't get the double play. It'll just be a 1-6 fielder's choice. The run will score because they were playing back for the double play. So it's a fielder's choice, 1-6 for the second out. But the other run scores now 5-0, favor the Phillies. And that'll bring up Sizemore. 135, and that's going to be a fly to left to end the inning. 2 more runs come in for the Phillies. They lead it 5-0. And that might be all for John Denny. He's scheduled to bat second this inning, but man, he's already given up 5 runs. I'm thinking we're maybe looking at a pinch hitter here. So with that in mind, let's get to the Cardinals pinch hitting eligibility players. From the right side, we have Roger Freed, we have Mike Tyson, and we have Steve Swisher. From the left side, we have Dane Orge. And as a switch hitter, we have Tony Scott. So those are the available pinch hitters for the Phillies. And looks like maybe Dane Orge will pick up a bat and hit. And in the bullpen, we have right-handers Mark Littell, right-hander John Urea, right-hander Pete Vukovich, and 2 left-handers, Buddy Schultz and Dave Hamilton. So we need somebody that can give us some length. And that looks to be either Vukovich or Urea. I don't know which one of them, if any of them, would be starting anytime soon. So I don't have that advantage in front of me at the moment. But to figure it out. Hello, Triple G. Good to see you. Back, let me take a look here. Bring up Retro Sheet real quick to see if who gets the start in the next couple games for the Cardinals. Who the starting pitchers are going to be. 16th is Force, so they're okay there. 17th, Falcone. Urea and Vukovich both pitched in relief on the 17th, so I can use either one of them, as it turns out. So we will probably go. Wow, it's hard to say. Now, guys, it's hard to say which way we'd go with that. Oh, 2 other Cardinal or one other Cardinal batter I forgot all about was Lou Brock. He's also on the bench available. So don't want to forget about him. I left him out by mistake. But right now, Christensen will be facing Mike Phillips. Hello, Doug. Mike Phillips will be your second baseman, and he will be the number 8 hitter in the lineup. All right, here is Christensen, 534. That's a fielding check of the first baseman. And again, we are looking at the first baseman, Richie Hebner. And on a 534, it again is a first base unassisted play. And Phillips is retired. First base unassisted. One down. And now we need that pinch hitter for the Cardinals rather. Pinch hitting time. Who would they like to go to? They are going to call on Dane Orge. So Dane Orge has picked up a bat and he will hit for Denny. So Denny's going to end up going 3 innings, giving up 5 runs. That's not too good. And it looks like Pete Vukovich will come in relief for the Phillies. For the Cardinals, rather. Hello, Matt. Yeah, it could be like the other channel, not worry about who the next starting pitcher. I can use a guy. I can pitch him 3 innings in relief and start him the next day because, just the way that is. All right, so 1 away, and here's Dane Orge, the pinch hitter. 422 against a right-hander is a 2-3 ground out. So it's a dribbler in front of the plate, and Boone will pounce on it and throw to first for an easy out. And Orge is retired. So 2 outs, base is clear, and back to the top of the order for Jim Dwyer. .385, and that's going to be non-splits, and that's a deep fly to. I'm sorry, .385 is a fly to left field, and that's going to end the inning. So 3 shutout innings for Larry Christensen as he keeps the ball rolling for the Phillies. Christensen will lead off the top of the 4th, and he'll be doing it against right-hander Pete Vukovich. 12-12 with a .254 earned run average in 1978. So Vukovich will be facing Christensen, McBride, and Boa. Hello, Tiscuni. Good to see you. 679 for the Phillies. 679. And a 679 is a single base hit for the pitcher of all people. How about that? Larry Christensen, although he was a pretty good hitter. Historically, he was a pretty good hitter. So Christensen is aboard. That'll bring up McBride. 553. So that's going to be to the third baseman, Ken Reitz. Get his numbers here. A 553 is a 5-3 putout. So that means Christensen will take second. His only play was to first to get McBride. Christensen will advance to second base. So 1 out, runner at second, and that brings up Boa. 582, that's the center fielder. In this case, that is Mumphrey. Again, he primarily plays left field, but his center fielder ratings are exactly the same, so we're still going to be able to use this chart. And it's just a fly to center field. Nothing else going on. Fly out center field because it falls within this range. There's nobody on third to worry about. So it's just a fly to center for out number 2. 2 down for Michael Jack Schmidt. Schmidt has doubled and struck out. 589, that's problems this time for Mumphrey. He's not going to be able to get to that. With that blue 9, that's definitely trouble. So a 5, 8, 9 is a single plus, and that means the runner on first will score. I'm sorry, on second will score. So it's an RBI single for Schmidt. Makes it 6-0 as Christensen comes around to score. 6-0 Phillies for the Bull, Greg Luzinski. Sorry we couldn't get a closer game, but you still got 5 or 6 innings to go, so the Cardinals could rally. 360, and that's a strikeout. So Luzinski is out of there. But the Phillies tack on another run, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. 6-0 favor of the Phillies. Hopefully my voice will hold out. We shall see. Sure, it's getting worse as the game goes along. So here's Gary Templeton. He will lead off. Templeton flew to left his first chance. I really want to play the Stratomatic Yankees and White Sox. The only game on May the 4th. I really want to play that tonight, but we'll see. That's my goal. Hopefully we can do that. Here's Templeton. 660, but their home team, so it makes it a 670. And a 670 is going to be a wild pitch, so ball one, but at least it's not an out. It would have been an out otherwise, but it's just a ball one on a wild pitch. Try again. 684 makes it a 694. 694 is a double. A double for Gary Templeton. Leadoff double for Templeton. He is aboard. Try to get something started for the Cardinals. Simmons led off with a double in the second, but got stranded there. Here's Morales. 287. Against a right-hander, 287 is a deep drive to left. How about that? Morales' power is always only a 2. So we'll see what happens on a deep drive to left. It was a 2. 2 and a 5 is a 7. It's still going to be a double. So a double, back-to-back doubles, scores the first run of the game for the Cardinals. Back-to-back doubles. Templeton comes in to score, cuts the lead to 6-1. Maybe the Cardinals are making a rally. Here's Ted Simmons. 406 for Simmons, and that's going to be a walk. So now first and second, still nobody out for Keith Hernandez. Be just like Hernandez hit into a double play and kill the rally, wouldn't you think? 425. And look at that, right on cue, 4-6-3 double play. Is there any doubt? Was there any doubt that was going to happen? Hall of Famer my ass. 2 down, runner at third. What a maroon. Oh my, killing a rally. It was terrible. Here's Reitz. 584. That's the center fielder, Maddox. You know he's going to make that with a 4 there. That should be fairly easy. And a 4 right here. Fly to center. The run on third would have to challenge, but there are already 2 outs. So with that double play, so just to fly out to center to end the inning. Cardinals do get a run, but that's all they get. They should have had a lot more. But for the antics of one Keith Hernandez hitting into a double play, kills the rally. We go to the fifth, it is still 6-1, or is now 6-1 favor of the Phillies. Pete Vukovich out for his second inning of work. Relief-wise, he's got a stamina of 2, so he can pitch this inning, and fatigue will start in the 6th. But most likely, this is his last inning because he's set to bat third next inning. So this is probably his final inning, most likely anyway. Here's Hebner, 345, and that's going to be an infield single for Richie Hebner. Phillies just keep hitting. Hebner now is 3 for 3, 2 doubles and an infield single. And that brings up Gary Maddox. 232 against a right-hander is a 1-6-3 double play, so that will help the cause right there. It actually should be a 1-4-3 double play because the shortstop would not be covering on a double play ground ball. That Clay should fix this. It should actually be a 1-6-3 here with a lefty, but it should be a 1-4-3 here. That's something Clay needs to fix just to be more realistic. Not a ding against the game, just I think it needs to be a 1-4-3 double play because with a right-hander batting, the shortstop is not going to be the one covering second base. It's going to be the second baseman. So that should be a 1-4-3. I don't know if that was a typo or just the way, misreading rating, I don't know, but it should be a 143. Just saying. Not a ding, just a mention, that's all. All right, so the bases are clear for Bob Boone. 125 is a redirect to a 325, and that's going to be an infield single for Bob Boone. So the Phillies, even after the double play, they're still hitting. Infield single, Bob Boone brings up Sizemore. And that is a 464 against a right-hander. 464 is a 5-4 fielder's choice, and that will end the inning. And that'll do it for Vukovich. He's going to go 2 innings. Denny went 3, and Vukovich went 2. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 6-1. It'll be Mumphrey, Phillips, and a pinch hitter for Vukovich. And the pinch hitter most likely is going to be Tony Scott. Most likely. But we'll find out. Depending on base running situation, they could use somebody else. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. Here is Jerry Mumphrey. 693, but that's a ballpark, so that makes it 703. And that's a deep drive to center field from Mumphrey. So deep drive to center, Mumphrey, though, his power is a 0. So we're going to just take these 2 dice and look in this column. Nothing to add to it. We get a 5, and that's going to be a single. So it could have been a lot worse, but for Mumphrey, since he didn't have a lot of power, it is just a leadoff single for Mumphrey. But you got to start somewhere. And here's Mike Phillips. 618. Make it 628 with the home team batting. That's a pop out to short. 1 away, and now we need a pinch hitter. And it is going to be Tony Scott. Switch hitting Tony Scott will pinch hit. See what he can do. Runner at first and 1 out. We get a 457. And that's a fly ball to left field for out number 2. So Scott is retired. That'll bring up Jim Dwyer. 2 down, runner still at first. 326. And that's going to be a pop-up to third base. And it's going to be a foul pop-up. I'm sorry, a in-play pop-up to third base. Not that it matters. It's the end of the inning. And after 5 complete, it's 6-1 Philly still in the lead. Now the Cardinals will need a new pitcher. Let's see who they decide to use. Coming up for the Phillies, we the pitcher, Christensen, then McBride and Boa. So let's see. They're going to use, I believe, they're going to use John Urea. Try to give him some innings as well. 4.9 with a 5.38 earned run average, real world. John Urea. All right, so he will face the leadoff man, the pitcher. You take care, Ernest, and have a great day. Happy Easter to you as well. All right, here is Urea to Christensen. We get a 5.36, so that is the first baseman, Keith Hernandez. Keith Hernandez on a 5.36 makes a 3 unassisted play. So Hernandez will beat Christensen to the bag, and they'll log in the out for 1 away. So it looks like next game of the week, next Saturday, will be Texas at Detroit. Jack Morris on the mound for the Tigers in that game. A very young Jack Morris. I think it's Doyle Alexander for Texas, but don't quote me on it. Here's McBride, 439 against a righty, 439. And that is a deep fly to left field for out number 2. So 2 down for Larry Boa. 142, And that's going to be a single to center field for Larry Boa. The hit parade continues for the Phillies. And up 6-1. I don't think Larry Boa is going to worry about trying to steal, although it's very tempting. His hold is a 0, and his steal or speed is a 7, so he can certainly get the jump. But his steal is only a 1. So let's see if he can get the lead. Nope, that's only going to be a 7 with that steal 1, and this is a 6 as a 7. Does not beat the 10, so he cannot get the lead. He tried, but he couldn't do it. And that'll bring up Michael Jack Schmidt. Thank you for confirming that, Dad. 456 against the right-hander is a single to center field. So how about that? Single to center. Runners at first and second. 2 down for Greg Luzinski, the bull. Schmidt's now 3 for 4 in the game. 124. And that's another single. I'm sorry, 124 is a redirect to a 324, and that's a strikeout. So Luzinski strikes out to end the inning thanks to the redirect. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Phillies seemingly comfortably in control, 6-1. Urea has the stamina certainly to go another inning. Coming up for the Cardinals, it'll be Templeton, Morales, and Simmons due up against Christensen. His stamina is a 6, so starting next inning, he'll start looking at fatigue. 249 against a switch hitter batting left. 249 is a 6-3 ground out. Boa throws over to Hebner for out number 1, and here's Jerry Morales. 1 for 2 with a double. That's a 597, so that's looking at the right fielder, McBride. But that 7 is a little bit iffy. So a 597 is a double plus, so nobody's on base. It's just simply a double for Jerry Morales. So a 1-out double for Morales. He's now 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. A lot of doubles in this game for whatever reason. And here's Ted Simmons, speaking of doubles. He doubled his first time up, walked his second time up. It's a 422 against a right-handed pitcher. A 422 is a 4-6-3 double play, but the runner's on second. So it's just going to be a 4-3 put out, and the runner on second will take third. So going to third is Morales on the 4-3 ground out by Simmons. 2 away, runner at third for Keith Hernandez, who hit into a double play his last time up. You don't expect Keith Hernandez there's no way in hell he's going to drive the runner home, right? You just know he's going to blow it in this clutch situation. 397. And as soon as I say that, he hits a 2-run homer. Where is RJL? Keith Hernandez just crushed a 2-run homer and shut my mouth. How about that? Sweet potato pie and shut my mouth. Song of the South, right here. 2-run home run for Keith Hernandez. Keith frickin' Hernandez, as somebody might want to call him. 2-run home run for Hernandez, and all of a sudden it's a 6-3 game. Cardinals trying to inch back into this thing. It's 6-3. Keith Hernandez with the home run. And I'll bring up Ken Reitz. 470 for Reitz is a fly to deep center field. Almost a hit by pitch. That would have been more appropriate after the home run, but it's a fly to center. But the Cardinals put up 2 on the board here in the 6th. Now, at the end of 6, it is Phillies 6, Cardinals 3. So maybe some life. Maybe a hint of life. Urea back out for his second inning of work. He'll be facing Hebner, Maddox, and Boone. If we get to Christensen, they might pinch hit for him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that's going to go. Top of the 7th we go. Urea pitching to Hebner. It's a 183, and that's going to be a bloop single. So a bloop single for Hebner. And the hit parade just keeps coming for the Phillies. Hebner now 4 for 4, 2 singles and 2 doubles. Brings up Gary Maddox. 677. 677 is a bloop single. So with a bloop, that means with no less than 2 outs, the runner had to wait to see if the ball was going to be caught. So 1 base is as much as you can get on that. But it's first and second. Nobody out for Bob Boone. And we might get a pinch hitter for Christensen as well coming up. Booney, 452 against the righty. 452 is a 4-6 fielder's choice. So the runner on second will take third. The runner at first base, Maddox is out 4-6 on the fielder's choice. That's Sizemore. I'm sorry, that's Phillips flipping to Templeton for the force. Hebner will take third. Runners on the corners, 1 out for Ted Sizemore. Infield back for the double play. 441, and 441 is a strikeout against a right-hander. So Sizemore out on strikes. 2 down, and now the pitcher spot is up, and they're going to go ahead and call on a pinch hitter. Christensen has pitched 6 innings. They figure that's enough. Phillies will go to the bench for a pinch hitter, and we'll look at their pinch hitting availability people. From the right side, we have Jose Cardinal, Barry Foote, Davey Johnson, and Jerry Martin. From the left side, we have Jay Johnstone and Tim McCarver, and a switch hitter, Bud Harrelson. So I think in this case, with the righty on the mound, they're going with the prankster, Jay Johnstone. He's going to pinch hit for the Phillies. Jay Johnstone. And then we'll figure out who the new Phillies pitcher is going to be. But right now it's Jay Johnstone stepping in. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Game's still in the balance a little bit, 6-3. So it's not over yet, but Johnstone can put the nail in the Cardinals' coffin right here. 244 against a lefty, and that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So in this case, just a 4-6 fielder's choice. We'll end it. And Urea gets out of the jam. Nothing doing there for the Phillies here in the top of the 7th. So they maintain their 6-3 lead. And now I have to figure out who the new pitcher is going to be for the Phillies. Look at who they have available out of the bullpen. And their arms out of the bullpen are as follows. From the right side, Warren Brewster, Gene Garber, and Ron Reed. And from the left side, Tug McGraw. So it looks like we're going to go with Gene Garber, the right-hander. That's it for Urea. He's done. He is set to be pinch hit for, so they will take Urea out of the game as well. So Urea went 2 innings of scoreless relief. And now it's going to be Gene Garber taking over for Christensen here in the top of the 7th. He'll be facing Mumphrey, Phillips, and a pinch hitter for for Urea. So as Lou Brock has picked up a bat and he will hit. So it'll be Mumphrey, Phillips, and Brock, the top 3 for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 7th. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. Didn't see you come in. So that's what we're going to go with. But we are at the 7th inning stretch, and I definitely need to stretch and probably take a quick throat break or something, So, but you all are welcome to stand and sing, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." All right, so the 7th inning stretch is in the books, and I guess I'm feeling okay. So I'm like Joe Cocker. I'm feeling all right. So we're going to go ahead and keep rolling here. Jerry Mumphrey steps to the plate against the new pitcher Garber. 647, but the home team's batting makes it a 657. And 657 is going to be a 6-3 ground out. So grounds it out to the shortstop Boa for out number one. I'll bring up Mike Phillips, second baseman. 661 makes it a 671 with the home team batting, and that's a wild pitch, so it turns into a ball one instead of an out. So Phillips will get another swing on the house. 417 against a righty. 417 is a 4-3 ground out. That's out number two. So Garber has induced two ground outs, and now here's Lou Brock. Lou Brock will pinch hit with 2 outs and the base is empty. Oh, we got a rare play when Lou Brock is up. Go figure. All right, 505. Anything 509, 500 to 509 is a rare play. And since the bases are empty, it tells you which rare play chart to go to. So on the rare play chart, base is empty. We're going to look at pages 30 through 33. So turn to page 30, and it could go to 33 depending on what numbers we roll. If they're high or low. Let's find out. 334. Okay, so 334 is on page 30. 334 says no play. A call strike brings the count to 0-2. Batters ejected for arguing with the umpire. The batter's replacement must complete the current bat with 2 strikes. So how you like that? Lou Brock can't even hit. He's going to argue with the umpire and get ejected while he's pinch hitting. So he's going to have to be relieved and have to bring somebody else in to finish the at-bat. And that's going to be Roger Freed. So Roger Freed will come in and pinch hit and take over for Lou Brock, who got ejected. So Freed will get the at-bat instead. 603 turns to 613, and that's just simply going to be a strikeout. So strikeout for Freed, but it's charged to Lou Brock. Lou Brock gets credit for that strikeout because he's the batter that gets charged with that. So on the bench now for the Cardinals, they have Mike Tyson and Steve Swisher. Those are the available pinch hitters remaining for the Cardinals. And now we need a new pitcher for the Cardinals. We'll see if they want to go with, probably going to end up going with Buddy Schultz, I imagine. You're not going to use your closer when you're down, so I'm thinking Buddy Schultz is the guy. Especially with McBride and Boa coming up lefty and switch, they're going to go with Buddy Schultz out of the bullpen. Fourth pitcher used rather by the Cardinals, Buddy Schultz. He'll be facing the top of the order here in the top of the 8th. Of a 6-3 game, you'll be facing McBride, Boa, and Schmidt. Robert, you're back. Did you happen to see your guy hit a 2-run home run, or were you away at the time? I don't know. I ragged on him, and he hit a 2-run homer. All right, here is, whoops, what in the world is that going on here? Get off of here. My computer got it messed up here. Let's close that out so we can get going here. All right, so here we go. Schultz against McBride, lefty on lefty, 304, and that is a strikeout for McBride. And that would be versus lefty or righty. But in this case, they'll take it. Schultz gets the strikeout. Well, there you go, Robert. I ragged on Hernandez pretty good for hitting into that double play to kill a rally, and then I gave him his props when he hit the 2-run homer. So here's Boa, 645. 645 is a 4-3 ground out. Easy play for the second baseman Phillips, former Met. And that's 2 away from Mike Schmidt, or Michael Jack Schmidt. .407 against a left-hander is going to be a walk. It would have been a walk either way, but there you go. Mike Schmidt with a walk. And the Cardinals just can't get a 1-2-3 inning going at all. Cardinals have not had a 1-2-3 inning all game. There's always been a Phillies base runner on every inning. Pressure's been on every time. Here's Luzinski. 443 against a lefty. And that's going to be a 6-3 putout. Boy, 446 would have been a home run, but this is going to be a 6-3 putout. Actually, a 6-3 double play, so we'll call it a 6-4 fielder's choice because it would have been a double play otherwise. But nothing doing there for the Phils. Those 6 runs early on are still holding up, obviously. Go to the bottom of the 8th. And Garber back out for his 2nd inning of work. This is his fatigue inning because his stamina is only a 1. So we'll be checking fatigue starting in this inning. And he'll be facing Dwyer, Templeton, and Morales, top of the order. If Garber gets into trouble, Tug McGraw is waiting in the wings. Dwyer, 672 becomes a 682. 682 is a base hit. So base hit single, leadoff single for Jim Washer and Dwyer. Leadoff single for Dwyer, his first hit of the game. And here comes Gary Templeton. 662 becomes a 672. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. So he plunks him. He plunks Templeton. And now there's 2 on. And he's got 2 notches of fatigue against him. So actually had a notch of fatigue against him there, didn't he? So let me redo that at bat. It's not a 672. It's actually a 682 because he gave a single earlier. So it's actually a 682. And a 682 is a single plus plus. So that's going to put runners at the corners. So I stand corrected. It was not a hit by pitch. It was a single. And it's going to move Dwyer to third base. So runners are at the corners with nobody out. And that may be it for Gene Garber. They don't know if they can stand to go with him anymore because of his fatigue. So Garber will be lifted. He's going to go 1 inning, 1 plus, and that's it. Pitched a 1-2-3 7th, but he ran into trouble here in the bottom of the 8th, and it looks like Morales is going to be the batter. So let's see, do they go to Ron Reed or do they go to Tug McGraw? That's the question. Or they could go to Brewster, but I think they're going to go to Ron Reed, actually, the right-hander, because the right-hander is coming up on the mound or to the plate. So Ron Reed will take over for the Phillies. It is a save situation, obviously, now. Here in the 8th, runners on the corners, nobody out. Infield back, playing for the double play. They need outs. Hello, Clay. Good to see you. So, Ron Reed is in for the fatigued Garber. Runners on the corners, nobody out. 6-3 ball game. Infield is back. They give up the run to try to turn 2. We get a 284 against a right-hander, and that's going to be a deep drive to left field for Jerry Morales. Now his power is only a 2, and there's no stadium effects, so we're going to take a deep drive to left, roll these 2 dice, add 2 to it, and see what happens. 2 and a 15 is a 17. It's just a deep fly to left field. The runner on second there is no runner on second. There's a runner on third and a runner on first. So let's see here. 6, where was it at? It was a 17, right? Is that what I said it was, 17? Yeah, F7 plus. So I'm thinking, Clay, with the F7 plus, that means the runner on third is that an auto sacrifice? It should be an auto sacrifice fly, I think. Should it not? If it's deep enough for the runner on second, it might try to go to third. I'm assuming the runner on third is going to score. Check my cheat sheet real quick. Look at my numbers here. F7. Yep, runner on third tags and scores. So it's a sacrifice fly off the bat of Jerry Morales. Cuts the lead to 6-4 with 1 out. That run is charged to Garber. But it's now a 6-4 game for Ted Simmons. Ted Simmons is up. Simmons in this game has doubled, been walked, and grounded to second. That's a 238 against Simmons, the switch hitter batting left. 238. That is a strikeout, unfortunately. Boy, I was looking up here, but 238 is a strikeout. So Ron Reed gets the second out of the inning on a big strikeout. And now it's up to Robert's buddy, Keith Hernandez. He had a 2-run homer his last time up. He's also hit into a double play. He's been GOAT and hero both in the same game. He could do it again with a base hit. That's a 692. It turns into a 702 with the home team batting. 702 was going to be a walk. He just missed a deep drive by one number, but it will be a walk, and that will put runners at first and second. Maybe Ron Reed didn't want to pitch to Hernandez. I don't know. But Hernandez has passed the baton to Ken Reitz. See what he can do. He's got pretty good power, this Ken Reitz. That's a 642. Becomes 652 with the home team batting. But that's just going to be a 6-4 ground out to end the inning. They'll get the force play, 6-4. And that's going to end the inning. Cardinals get one, cut it to a 6-4 ball game. But we're going to the top of the ninth, 6-4. Favor the Phillies. Buddy Schultz back out for his second inning of work, which he is now under subject of fatigue because his stamina was 1. We've already went the 1 inning. So in the Cardinal bullpen, they will have activity. In the Cardinal bullpen, loosening, just in case, is Mark Littell. So Littell is loosening in the Cardinal bullpen in case Schultz becomes fatigued or they get a matchup against a righty they want to use. So Littell is loosening in the pen, but it is 6-4. And I apologize, Clay. I'm fighting off a cold here, so my voice is not where it should be, nor is my energy, but I'm going to try to get through this. All right, so next week, like I said, NBC Game of the Week next Saturday, going to be Texas and Detroit. Texas against Detroit. That is from Tiger Stadium. It'll be Jack Morris against Doyle Alexander. That's on the April 22nd Game of the Week. All right, here's Schultz to Hebner. That's a 204 against a left-hander. Reverts to a 404 on a redirect. So 404 is going to be a walk. So there you go. Another no 1-2-3 inning. They have not had a 1-2-3 inning the entire game. Phillies have always had somebody on. So that's one knock against Schultz's fatigue. And I tell you, with Maddox and Boone and these right-handers coming up, Cardinals are not taking any chances. They're going to bring in Mark Littell. They don't want to deal with Schultz being tired, so they're bringing in Littell to pitch the ninth and try to get out of the mess. So Littell is your new batter, or new pitcher, I should say. Runner on first is Hebner with nobody out, and here's Gary Maddox. Hello, Marlon. Good to see you. That's a 626 for Maddox, and that's going to be a pop-up to short. That is out number 1. 1 down. And that'll bring up Bob Boone. Booney. 163, and that's going to be a walk. So not what Littell needed. It's going to put runners at first and second with only 1 out. Sizemore is your batter. The pitcher is on deck, Ron Reed, so they will pinch hit for him if it gets to that, and they'll use Tug McGraw in the 9th. But first things first, here's Sizemore. Infield looking for the double play. If they can get it. 192. That's a wild pitch. So that's going to move the runners up so much for the double play. That just went away right there and also forces the infield to come in. So the infield will have to come in after that wild pitch from Littell. That 192 is a wild pitch. And that will move the runners up. Infield is in for Sizemore. They really have no choice but to be in. 575, that could be interesting. That's a left field check for Jerry Mumfree. I'm sorry, for Jim Dwyer. Don't know what kind of fielder Dwyer is. We'll find out real quick. 75, that's an F7++, so that means not only will the runner on third tag and score, but the runner on second will go to third. So it is a sacrifice fly for Sizemore to get the Phillies an important insurance run, and it makes it now 7-4. Still a save situation, but now 2 outs and a runner at third. But that was just hit so deep that everybody tagged up. And now we got the pitcher spot coming up, so we will need a pinch hitter for the Phillies. We'll have Tug McGraw coming in pitch the 9th. Who's going to pinch hit for the Phillies? Do they have any lefties? They got Tim McCarver on the bench. So Tim McCarver, he's the only lefty still left on the bench. He will come in and pinch hit. Tim McCarver. And Tug McGraw will pitch the 9th. So here's Littell facing McCarver, 2 outs, runner at third, 1 run already in. That's a 5-0-3, a rare play with another pinch hitter rare play. Last time we had a pinch hitting rare play in the earlier innings, Lou Brock got thrown out trying to pinch hit. So this time, though, there's runners on base. So the rare play chart, we look at the book in the rare play, and it says runners on third. If a runner is on third, let's see here. Runner on first and third. Does it give Clay? I'm looking here. Is there a place for just runner on third? Because that's the only place I've got is a runner on third. And I don't see. Oh, runner on third. I guess we use this one here. So it would still be 30-33 right here. I'm thinking because of that. So I'm thinking we're still using the 30-33 as far as I can tell. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. And that is a 351. So a 351, oops, on the next page. 351. 351 falls right into here. It's a single plus with a possible error on the center fielder, it looks like. Single to center, if white die to 10 digits die is higher than the center fielder's fielding, the batter advances second on a fielding error. Well, the center fielder fielding Mumphrey, I should say, is a 5, so it's not higher. It's the same. So it will be a single, but it will not be an error. But it's an RBI single for Tim McCarver. That takes it out of a save situation. It's no longer a save situation as McCarver singles to bring home Mr. Booney. 2 runs are in now, and it is now an 8-4 ball game. It's no longer a save situation for the Phillies. But I think McGraw is going to pitch anyway, just for a general purpose. Here is Bake McBride. 548. That's trouble for the second baseman, Mike Phillips. A 548 is an E4, so it's a 1 base error on the second baseman Phillips, and that will keep the inning going on the E4. Runners are now at first and second with 2 outs for Larry Boa. That's a 620. 620 turns into a pop-up to second. That's going to end the inning. But damage done. 2 runs come in against the combination of Schultz and Littell. And we go to the bottom of the 9th with the score now 8-4. It's no longer a save situation. So let's see if they decide to go with McGraw or whether they want to go with Warren Brewster. They may decide to opt for Brewster, and I think they will. Since it's not a save situation, they will go with Brewster instead. So Brewster will pitch the bottom of the 9th, and he'll be facing Mumphrey, Phillips, and a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Littell. And let's see who they got left on the bench that can pinch hit. Steve Swisher's a 278 hitter, so we'll go with him. So it's going to be Mumphrey, Phillips, and Swisher due up for the Cardinals here in the 9th against Warren Brewster. Warren Punky Brewster. Punky Brewster trying to get it done. That's a 268, and that's going to be on the split side against the switch hitter. 268 is a strikeout, so Brewster puts the K on Humphrey. Keep wanting to call him on Mumphrey. I keep wanting to call him Humphrey for some reason. I don't know why. Here's Phillips. 145, and that's a 3-1 putout as Hebner will flip it to Brewster covering for out number 2. And now the pinch hitter, Steve Swisher, is going to bat. Last chance saloon right here. 608. It turns into a 618, but that's still going to be a pop-up to second, and there's your ball game. 1-2-3 inning turned in by Brewster, and the Phillies defeat the Cardinals by the score of 8-4. And I'll look at my score sheet and get the totals for you real quick so we can put a wrapping on this. Remember, next week, game of the week is Texas at Detroit. Doyle Alexander against a very young Jack Morris. All right, let's count the hits for the Phillies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got them for 16 hits, 8 runs and 16 hits, and no errors. The Cardinals, they get 4 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. So unofficially, we've got 8, 16, and 0 for the Phillies, and we have 4, 8, and 1 for the Cardinals. Winning pitcher, Larry Christensen. Losing pitcher, John Denny. So the Phillies lay waste to the Cardinals at Busch Stadium by the score of 8-4, and that's going to take care of it from here. Thank you, Dab. I'll let Tabby know. Hello, Colin. Good to see you. I'll let Tabby know she's downstairs. I need to go rest my voice now again. Try to put some more medicine on my throat or cough drops or something. And if I'm able tonight, and I feel like it, I'll come back tonight and do the last game, the only game on May 4th for Stratomatic Super Advanced 1987. If not, then it'll probably be Tuesday before I come back and do another game. But on Season Ticket, we have done the game of the week, and we finished it here from Busch Stadium. Phillies win it by the score of 8-4. Home runs in the game, they belong to, well, there's only one home run in the game. It was the losing cause. Keith Hernandez, a 2-run homer in the 6th in a losing effort. But the Phillies cranked out 16 other hits, mostly singles and doubles. In fact, that's all they were, singles and doubles. Combine that with some walks, and you've got, and a couple of sacrifice flies, and you got yourself a lot of runs. So that's going to do it from here. Thank you all for sticking with me despite my craggly voice. And thank you, Clay, for stopping by and give me a little feedback just in case I mess something up. It's always nice to have somebody here that I know knows the rules better than anybody and can keep me straight. So hopefully I didn't make any mistakes there. I don't think I did. Hopefully I didn't. I might play another one of these offline just to get more practice. I haven't decided yet. I am going to take this game, the score sheet from this game, input it into Pocket Pennant Run's computer, and then sim all the other games to get ready for next Saturday, which in this case will be April the 22nd, 1978. From Detroit, it'll be the Texas Rangers against the Detroit Tigers. And that will be next Saturday. Then after that, Robert will be very happy. We'll be at Shea Stadium on April the 29th as the Cincinnati Reds take on the New York Mets. So that'll be the next couple of games. No problem, Clay. Anytime you come by, I definitely appreciate it. I really like this game. I need to play it more, obviously, to feel as comfortable with it as I do with some other games, but I definitely enjoy the game. The printed card, I have a PDF season of 1967, and I have the printed 1978 that I bought. Printed cards are really, really nice. I do like the quality of the printed cards. Although I did use the card stock from Amazon that was suggested, the perforated, and they printed off my 67 set very well. So I'm very happy about the way that turned out as well. So let's go do it from here. I'll try to get some rest now and see if I can recoup, see what happens. But anyway, from the final score from Busch Stadium, once again, Phillies win it 8-4 as they top the Cardinals. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.